Today I want to talk to you about building your database. Your database is probably the most important asset you're ever going to own in the real estate business. I disagree with some of the common thoughts of a database should be your 100 closest contacts. It should be people that you know and that you have influence over. For most of us, that's somewhere around 50 to maybe 100 people. It needs to be bigger than that because, I approach the business differently. I approach it from a point of view that my sphere of influence is going to extend to not only the people I know, but the people that I can influence. And I can influence them in the field of real estate by displaying to them that I can do things that other people can't do. So even though my wife doesn't know everybody in the garden club extremely well, the garden club is on our database. The church membership, my Rotary Club, they are in the database because they are all human beings who may at some point have a need for a home. And if through my disseminating valuable content to them that I can convince them that I would be better representing for them for buying or selling a home than the three real estate agents that they already know, then I want them in my database. The biggest discovery that I have had in the last year is the value of LinkedIn. Up until a year ago, I pretty much thought that LinkedIn was something that didn't apply to me, that it really didn't give me any opportunities because I wasn't looking for a job and I wasn't hiring people. So LinkedIn didn't mean anything to me. And then as I got into the luxury real estate business, I realized that these were the people who I wanted as my clients. Since I'm in the luxury home market, I want to be connected with every CEO in this city. I want to be connected with every CFO, every doctor, every attorney, because they're the people who live in $1 million homes and are in the market to buy $1 million home. So it became important to me to have them in my database so then I could, through my database, I could disseminate information that was valuable to them. Again, I go back to the theory that I operate on. I want to solve problems for people. They don't have to be my friends. They don't have to be my relatives. They don't have to be my acquaintances. They can be people who respect me as the best realtor in the market to sell their house at the time they want to sell their house. So I saw LinkedIn as a gold mine. So if you aren't on LinkedIn, please get on LinkedIn. Sign in, follow the basic setup. Spend a lot of time on putting your profile together. The whole idea behind LinkedIn is that people will come and because they became acquainted with you and they will go to your profile and that's your resume. That is where you're going to separate yourself apart from everybody else in the real estate business. Look at my resume, my profile. I've spent some time on it. And notice the banner that I have my logo, my normal banner from my website, but notice also I have logos from the TV stations, the print media, any place that has featured me or spoke of me. It makes sense that I will put that on there to give credibility and authority to me. I then go through and explain my work history, my education history, but most important, I explain how I'm different and how I'm not just the normal realtor. So in LinkedIn, first thing you do is you upload your Gmail or your email account. What that does is then it says to LinkedIn, you know these people, you have a relationship with them, and you just basically go through and connect to them. But stop. Don't just connect with them. Um, every opportunity that you get somebody to read something adjacent to your name is equivalent to a TV commercial. I think we all have a pretty much good understanding of what a TV commercial can cost, everything from 2 o'clock in the morning to the Super Bowl. Think of every contact that you have as an opportunity for a Super Bowl one-on-one commercial. So when you connect with them, it will pop up and it will say invite, which means invite them to connect, or message. Always click message. You'll be able to put in a message of 300 characters. So in my book, I'll share with you the actual message that I deliver, but it goes something like this. They already have my name, so I don't have to use my name as part of the 300 characters, but I'm going to say I'm a real estate agent in Birmingham, Alabama. I specialize in luxury homes. I would like to be considered your source for current and accurate information on the current Birmingham luxury home market. Let's connect. So that's my message. I find with those, my immediate contacts, I'll probably get an 80% connect. Okay? Once you've done that, now LinkedIn says, you can connect with everybody that they're connected with. They basically say, if I'm connected to John Doe, that's a first connection. Now, if John Doe is connected to Harry Smith, he's a second connection. So because I know John, I can go to Harry and say, hey, I'm connected with John. I'd like to connect with you. And again, send a message and be your local source for real estate information. What you're doing, and again, in the description of who the connections are, they're going to tell you what they do for a living and in many cases where they live. Try to stay within your community so that you have a true valued database. I don't want somebody in California necessarily in my database for my business, because I'm going to be talking about local real estate. Unless, of course, maybe they have some connection to Alabama. Maybe they graduated cum laude from the University of Alabama, and they're now out at a movie studio and in LA, and there's a possibility they'll be coming back. So there I might. But if they have no connection to Birmingham, I really don't want to. I don't want them in there. They're just clutter. So that's what I do. What I find is as I go to that second level, I'll get somewhere between roughly 25% connection rate. It may take a while because unlike Facebook, people don't go to their LinkedIn page every day. They don't immediately open their phone and say, well, what's happening on my LinkedIn timeline? They don't do that. But, and quite often that message will show up if they have a separated Gmail account. It won't show up in their primary. It'll probably show up in their social. So if they scale down or through that, they might click on it and find you. But certainly they will see when they go to their LinkedIn page, if they go there once a week, once a month, whatever, they'll see that Carrie Grinkmeyer wants to connect with you. My message will be there and they'll make a decision. So again, I find that I get a connection rate of about 25%. That's where this starts, okay? And trust me, this is just where it starts. Once you accumulate, let's say you now have 500 people in your LinkedIn connections, go to across the top, it says network. Click on network. This is your network. This is your group of connections. Over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see your box, and it's going to say 700 connections. And underneath that, it's going to say, show me all my connections. And then you'll get a drop down and you'll have all 500, 700, whatever of your connections. Move your eyes over to the right, and you're going to see a little line there that says merge or sync or manage your connections. Click on that. That will take you to the next screen. On that screen, you're going to see export your connections. This is where the magic starts to happen. Click on that. Export your connections. What that's going to do, and it may take 3 to 5 minutes, it is going to take all your connections, search their profile, and it's going to transfer all that data to a Excel spreadsheet in a CVS format. What you're going to find then is their name, their address, many cases their phone number, but most important, their email address. Okay, so if you now have connections of 700, you now have on an Excel spreadsheet 700 email addresses. This is phenomenal. Take that and upload it into your client management program. I use Constant Contact. And again, you just go through the prompts that they ask you to label each column: first name, last name, email address, phone number of this such, and import it into your client resource management system. Now you have the ability to communicate at some level with these 700 people. This is where I think real estate of past has fallen apart. When I was with another realtor, they talked about, we will provide you a drip program, and once a month we will send your database information such as recipes for the summer, how to keep your shower door clean, what to plant in your garden this week. I'm sorry, but if you're sending me that kind of information, let's say you're a doctor and you're sending me that kind of information, you are not establishing in my mind that you are a professional in your field, and that if I have a need for a doctor of your profession, that I should come to you. I'm sorry, my shower door won't hold that priority for me. So I refuse to send anything like that to any of my database. Instead, what I choose to use my database and my CRM for is a method by which I can convince you, my potential client, why you should do business with me. Gary Kellerman says in the $1 Million Real Estate Agent that the human mind only has the capability of remembering 3 brands. Think in your own mind. Think of three brands of potato chips. Or as many as you can. You'll end at 3. That's true with realtors too. So what I see with my database now, I'm up to somewhere around 2,200 of them. Is my job is to bring my name as real estate agent to the top of their mind and replace one of the other 2. So in order to do that, I have to give them information that is pertinent to their situation, that is pertinent to the real estate market. I have to display to them that I know more about real estate. I know more about investing in real estate. I know more about real estate as an investment. And I know more about the trends of the current real estate market based on demographics, based on interest rates, based on the baby boomer sell-off, that I know more about that than anybody else in the city. That's my goal. That's my goal. It is not to have such a relationship that they feel indebted or obligated to deal with me or to work with me because I live down the street or because I go to their church or because I belong to their club. No, I don't want to operate on that basis. I want you to come and pick me as your real estate agent because I'm your only choice because I'm the best at it. So that's my objective by communicating with my database. Are these my primary clients? No, that's what I talked to you about last time. My most wanted list of 268 people. They're in the database, but they're not the primary source of the database. The other thing that I will encourage you to do is get other real estate agents into your database. A lot of people don't recognize that when you're showing a home, and as I told you, I'm at all of my showings. When you're showing a home, two sets of buyers come through the door when the buyer's agent and the buyer come to the house. One is obvious. It's the people looking for a home. Number two is that buyer's agent. You must show them the total respect that they deserve because they own, at that point, the most coveted commodity in the real estate business, and that is a buyer. The other thing you need to realize is that there's a 90% probability that you will not be bringing the buyer through the front door yourself. 90% of all homes are sold by someone other than the listing agent. So you need to be marketing to them as well, to those real estate agents. In my business, I know, again, by using my most valuable resource, Paragon, I know that in the last 5 years, there have been 150 agents who have sold a house for more than $1 million in Birmingham. Let me make that real clear. There are over 4,000 agents in the Birmingham market. 150 of them have ever sold a house for over $1 million in the last 5 years. That brings the market down pretty tight. So it's imperative to me that if I have a $2 million home in Mountain Brook, that every one of those 150 agents are aware of it. They will see it on their LinkedIn feed when I run a 30-second video about a listing that connects to my 8-minute video. They will see it when I mail that same type of thing to my database. I want to market to these real estate agents because they are my lifeblood. So this is a tremendous source. Learn how to use it. Learn how LinkedIn can create you a 2,000 piece database. Okay, let me share this with you too. When you put them into your CRM, and if you got a good one, you're going to have some templates to send out your messages. Use those templates, build something that looks nice. Always have something that they can connect to, whether it be a YouTube video or your website. And then track who in fact is opening your emails. Some of them are going to bounce. Find out why. Maybe you put the email address in wrong. But monitor what kind of effect you're having. You're going to find and that the average open rate is somewhere in the neighborhood of 20%. I've gotten as high as 30%. And I think my reading is what you say in the description or the headline that appears is very, very important. So let's again use my numbers. If I got 2,000 I'm sending out, and I get 25% open rate, That's 500 that open. That's 500 people who open it up, see my logo, have a mental representation, see my picture, see what I'm offering. That's as good as a TV commercial. That's as good as a Super Bowl commercial. Now, let's say now they actually click, and if it's something that is disseminating information, it will probably go to my website and a blog post that I have made that gives some details about what's happening in the real estate market. That's as good as a sit-down meeting with them. That if I can, and as I say, I get about a 25% open rate, and then I get about a 20% click-through rate. So now I take that 2,000 to 500 to 100. That's 100 people who are interested enough to go and spend time and read what I'm saying. It won't always be the same people. And these are free commercials. Now, how often do you email your database? I think the industry standard would say once a quarter, once a month. No, once a week at a minimum. Again, remember, these are people that you either know or have said they would like to receive from you current and pertinent information on the real estate market. They've told you that. So let's live up to what we have promised we would do, and that is give them current and pertinent information on the real estate market. And once a week, there is current and pertinent information on the real estate way. At least. Sometimes I'll do it twice a week. Sometimes I'll do it. I'll do one that leads to my blog post, and then I'll do another one that later in the week that might be just listed, and that leads to the video. When I send my email blast out, is usually about 5:03 in the morning, and I will get probably 80% of my opens by 8 o'clock in the morning. This is when people get up and open the first thing they do is they open at 5:05. They open up their phone, they see what's there, they're relaxed, they sit, they read, they do what their daily before they get into their work day. So use this and build this. My goal is to, right now, as I say, I'm at about 2,000, 2,500, is to get that up to 3,500. And the biggest source it is going to come is through LinkedIn. The second biggest source is I ask for a card from everybody that I meet. I just had a situation where my roofer, the guy who replaced my roof, the guy who I refer my clients to if they need a new roof. He showed up at my $1.5 million house. I didn't have any idea that he was doing that well. That taught me a lesson. I had not entered his email address into my database prior to that. He's now in my database. Trust me. So that's the power of LinkedIn. That's the power of the database. When I was in the financial planning business, I grew from a not noticed within within 10,000 franchisees of American Express Financial Advisors, which became Ameriprise, to the number one. And I did that through mergers and acquisitions, and what I sold was my database and my reoccurring income. And I sold it for over $2 million. So what you're building, and if you do this right, you're not just building something through which you can sell homes. You're building a business that someday you can sell. Now, that's this. Taken enough of your time today. Again, I'll have the book out, I think, sometime in August. Do me a favor. Someone asked me today at my realtor meeting, I've been watching your videos. I really appreciate you sharing this with me. And I asked her, I said, are you sharing it with other realtors? Please share it with other realtors. This is what I'm doing in my life now. I want to share. I want people to learn from me. I want them to cut corners and get to where they want to go a lot faster. And I think I can help them that way. Right now, I think I have somewhere around 30 followers on my YouTube channel. Through exponential growth, if you will share with 60 real estate agents and 30 of them show up, and every one of you do that in 3 progressions, we will be at 4 million. We will have 4 million people following this and learning about this. And we as a tribe, and that's what will happen, we as a tribe will be in a position to make a pretty big dent in this real estate business. And I promise you that. I believe, and my wife says, you got the biggest ego I have ever heard. I'm not operating in my garage like Bill Gates and Steve Allen, or the 2 Steves of Apple, or Sergey Brin and Larry Page. I'm not operating in my garage. I'm operating in my basement. And I believe I am giving you a view into what's going to happen in the real estate market. And I will continue to share my learnings, my knowledge with you. And I want you to have the opportunity, I think, that is going to be available to you. Okay, so see you next time.